What's up, everybody? I know I haven't made a video in a while, but here is another installment of A Moment with MaddDog. And this is, on this episode, I'm actually going to talk about my very first, my own experience that I've had at the Faire, which I'm going to pop a picture up right here. So I did go to the Faire when I was a kid. However, I didn't go in the to the standards of what I went to this year, right? So when I was a kid, I went in plain clothes, just walked around, kind of watched all the stuff. I don't remember much of the stuff that I saw, but, just did. Had, their parent bring them to the Faire just to check it out once because it was something fun, and then that was it. So essentially, this Faire, my experience was very different. This was also the year that I started going to not only cons, but also cosplaying at least one of the cons, right? So I knew I definitely wanted to go to the Faire and wear an outfit, right? And what's nice about the Faire is that you could either dress up as one of your favorite fantasy characters, essentially anything, and you could go, right? You don't have to be a character. You can create up your own character, your own person, your own outfit, whatever it may be, and go to the Faire, right? So I really like that aspect because I think because of it being so broad, the only thing that's not, I mean, it might be for you, but like I saw people wearing other stuff as well, is that you want to have an outfit that fits into the class or fits into the same what people would wear during like medieval times, during the Renaissance, like whatever it may be. The Washington State Renaissance Fair, which is the midsummer Renaissance Fair, also had certain weekends. So they had a pirate weekend, a fantasy weekend, and then a Viking weekend. We went on fantasy weekend, so that was more of like medieval clothing and stuff, right? And I wanted to have an outfit, right? Because you can make your outfit whatever you want. I personally did not make my outfit, though. I will post up a picture right here of the outfit that I wore, and this outfit was actually made by my sister. So my sister is learning how to create her own clothing, how to sew and everything, and she asked, like, can I make your outfit? I'm like, sure. So I sent her a bunch of pictures, and she threw it together. She threw that outfit together. It came on time. It pretty much fit. The only thing is that, just measure, like, different body measurements and stuff, right? So it was a little too snug on one side, so I have to fix the siding of it, and then the skirt was too big. But other than that, it was perfect, especially, and I'll get to that, since the weather was hot. Not wearing anything long and lengthy besides the skirt, not wearing any extra layers of clothing, whatever it was very beneficial in that outfit for that specific day. The outfit was great. It was fantastically made, especially for our first dress ever done from her, and I'm just gonna patch it up, and I'm definitely gonna wear it again. So dress 10 out of 10. Perfect job. Kim did an amazing job. Now, the Renaissance Fair itself. I say this with all the kindness in my heart, and I'm like, all I could say is, why put the Renaissance Fair in the middle of an open field on a very hot summer day with little to no shade? The only shade that was at the fair was in the covered bar areas. And again, covered bar areas, right? So only someone that was 21 and older could get in. So any kids that were there, the only covering they may get is from the shows, right? And some of the shows are in the bars, some of the shows were not in the bar. So aside from those areas, including the food tents and stuff, there was like no shade at all. It was very dusty because it was in the middle of a field, right? And, location, I give it like a 1 because it did accommodate all the people that was there. But other than that, you could have had a better location with more shading, so people could actually get away from the heat and stuff. Getting in was super easy. There was a lot of vendors, a lot of a lot of things to look at. There was a lot of shows to do and stuff. Everything at the Renaissance Fair, they were great at posting at the times. Each stage had like their own board with saying where the performers were going on and what time they were going on and everything. And they had a bunch of fun things to do for everyone, from kids to adults, right? So it wasn't lacking in terms of entertainment, in terms of things to do and such. The one show that we did go to see was Jacques the Whipper. As you all may know, he's famous on all social media platforms. And his show was packed. Like, I don't even know how we got seats, and I don't know how we were able to see decently in the show, but we did. And I say this about every performer, especially watching someone like him, is that not only you have to be good at your job, but you also have to be a performer. You have to have that type of personality, and he is a prime example of when you mix the two, you produce something great. His show was absolutely wonderful, very entertaining. I also like that it was, with the heat and stuff, it was so short, so that way it was only 30 minutes. So if you needed a respite and you need to go get some shade, if for whatever reason your seat was not in the shade, after the 30 minutes the show was over, then you can go and find that and stuff. We didn't really eat that much there. We got like a little bag of like donuts and whatever, and had butterbeer. The butterbeer was very lackluster. It kind of tastes like cream soda to me, so I wouldn't count that as my first butterbeer experience. But overall, it's the first time. I said this, if I haven't talked about my Emerald City Comic Con before, I'll mention it now. Emerald City was my first Comic Con, so I essentially did not know what to expect. So I didn't really have a plan going in. I kind of just wung it. Same thing with the Renaissance Fair. Didn't have a plan going in, only had a ticket for a day, right? So we kind of just went and kind of see how it was. But now, knowing for next year or whatever other Renaissance fairs want to go to, definitely want to plan more accordingly. Okay, so like next year if we were to go to this Renaissance Fair again, definitely want to stick to more of the shaded areas. Since I am 21 and older, maybe just bounce from bar to bar, go to different shows, do whatever, buy some crafts, and then that'd be it. If I go do a Renaissance Fair, say in like Oregon or something, and they do have a shaded area, then that would change my plans. But this was the first experience, like my own personal experience with the Renaissance Fair, and that's, again, first time. Now I know, moving forward, how to fully prep for it. The Renaissance Fair I love seeing all the costumes. I love all the creativity and all the stuff, the shows and everything that are going on. I definitely see it as an added into the repertoire of different shows and cons to go to in the time frame of a year. Overall, I would say my experience was, I would think, a 6 out of 10, just because, again, the heat and the shade, definitely, I think, especially for those people that were in like layers and layers of clothing, that could be a definite killer of anyone's experience at the Renaissance Fair. But I would recommend anyone go, even if you don't dress up, go out, have some fun, just be creative, live in that fantasy world that the Renaissance Fair brings out in you, and just embrace it for either those couple of hours or those couple of days that you are there. Tips and tricks moving forward for the next Renaissance Fair, and anyone that plans on going to the Renaissance Fair in the future. One, and I said this with my SummerCon, tips and tricks, definitely just bring some cash. Cash is great to have on hand. Most of the vendors do have cards, but cash is great just in case, right? Bring cash, bring a lot of water. Now, supposedly, there were water refill stations. I did not see any, so make sure you do pack a good chunk of water, especially if you're going to a Renaissance Fair and it's going to be hot that day. And then on top of that, bring suntan lotion. I thankfully put on sunscreen, and I barely got as burned as I thought I would be, right? And then lastly, like I said, be creative. Cons, Renaissance fairs, anything of the sort. They're for part of it is for the creatives. Part of it is for you to embrace your creative side and be able to dress up and to have fun and just overall have a good time. So, if the biggest tip for anything, because this most likely is my last Renaissance Fair Con-esque event of the year, is just embrace it, have fun, and be your true self at these events, and you are going to have a total blast with all of them. Those are my thoughts and tips and tricks for the Renaissance Fair. I will see you guys in the next episode.